Hey everybody, Pat Palmer, the computer guy here in Hampton, Iowa, and today we're going to be taking a look at a computer that needs to be cleaned up here. And what we talk about by cleaning up is physically cleaning up the computer. As you can see, there's been some dust here. This comes out of a home of a smoker, and so you can kind of see what smoking will do. And before we really want to get started on things, we just want to get the computer physically cleaned up itself to be able to take care of any other issues that might be a part of what's going on. Again, what we'll do is we'll put some compressed air in here. I do have a air compressor here. It would take probably 3 or 4 little cans of air to be able to go through this and clean it up properly. So we just have an air compressor that we're going to use and clean this thing up, and then we're going to point out some other things with the laser pointer here as far as what to look for other defects of the computer, so we don't have a computer that's going to be bad for the customer. We want to make sure it's going to be okay physically and cleaned up and back on the road to service. So what we're going to do first is we're going to just generally take care of this dust area. We're going to clean this fan in the back, clean around the motherboard, the intakes, and the power supply, and then we're going to hit the processor fan. It's always important to keep the processor cool because that's what runs your computer. So what we're going to do is we'll start hitting this with the air compressor here, and we'll get some of the surface dirt cleaned up here. Then what we'll do is we'll hit the power supply from the back into the machine, and then we'll do it again. As you can see, the computer is pretty dusty, and that brown greasy film and dirt was the residue of cigarette smoke. So that's one of those things, another thing that smoking doesn't do your computers or computer equipment any favors with the amount of dust it attracts. And the smoke, the tar is kind of a greasy substance, so it really does, when it gets into something, it really does attract dust, and the dust can't leave. It kind of holds the dust to the equipment. So anyway, with that, what we're going to do next is we're going to look at some of the capacitors in here to make sure that none of them are expanded or bad. So our capacitors are this line of capacitors here and down here, and from what I can see, we're looking pretty good as far as capacitors go. They're all pretty flat across the top, which is what you want. At this point in time, if they weren't flat across the top, if there was any bulging capacitors, that may be something to warn the owner about, and maybe you have a decision to make on a motherboard or capacitor replacement. But anyway, it's sure a lot cleaner in there now than what it was when we started, and we got all that cigarette smoke out, and hopefully it'll smell a little bit better too when we turn it on. So that's a little bit about cleaning up your computer here. I'm the computer guy.